Oh boy, what's going on, guys? I recorded this whole freaking thing and I didn't push the button on the system, so it didn't actually record. Anyway, um, to start with, uh, some of you know, some of you don't know. Um, Mike and I found out what Tiny Panda, little baby panda is gonna be. It turns out that we are having a boy, which is super exciting. Um, it's I didn't really have any expectations one way or the other. Like I didn't really care. I still don't, as far as like whether it was a boy or a girl. I would have been just as excited either way. But Tiny Panda, you're a boy. At least at the time of recording. Um, I I guess I'll direct this to you. Um, I don't know if you'll ever see it. I don't. I don't know. Um, but the previous one I did not direct to you. But I don't know why. Um, so if you're watching this, there's some previous videos that you're not involved in because I didn't know we were coming. Not that you were an accident or a surprise, but uh, I started making them before we had you. So uh, specifically, what I want this video to be about is my expectations for you. And there's not a lot. Um, like I don't expect you to be a superstar or get all A's or focus on school or whatever. I would like you to focus on school, but I think everybody wants their child to have an education. Um, and an education is important, but my expectations for you are a little bit more abstract. So hopefully you're watching this at an age where you can understand that a little bit more. But my expectations of you are that I want you to not be a bystander. Um, I don't want you to see somebody drop something and you not react. I want your first instinct to be to run over there and help them pick it up. I want your first instinct to be when you see a kid sitting alone at lunch, I want your first instinct to be to go over there and either sit down with them or invite them to sit with you. Um, and that's going to be a little bit scary. And you're going to put yourself out there to be the target of bullying. But here's the deal. If nobody ever does anything, if nobody ever stands up for each other, if nobody ever does what's right, and they always expect somebody else to do it, nobody's ever going to do anything. Um, you can you can be successful without doing what's right, um, or rather, you can be successful without going that extra mile, stepping out and saying that person's by themselves, and I know what it's like to be alone, and I don't want them to feel that way. Um, you can be successful by stepping on the people below you or above you or forcing yourself up or taking advantage of people. Um, but I will tell you that being successful and being happy are not always the same thing. They're not the same thing. And realistically, I guess your definition of success could be different. So if your definition of success is that you successfully helped as many people around you as you could, then maybe that is the same. Maybe that is the same. But ultimately, I don't want to say my only, but my biggest expectation of you is to not be a bystander. I want you to be the helpful one. I want you to be the friendly one. I want you to be popular, um, per se. Like, I don't want you to be the one that's bullied, and I don't want you to be the one that sits by themselves. Um, but I also don't want you I don't want I don't want you to just walk by those people. I want you to step up and say, what what do I think is right? And I want you to do that. It's not going to be easy. People are going to make fun of you. People are going to say, he's weird. Don't talk to him or whatever. This is what kids do. But I want you to be above that. And don't let me pretend like I was above that, because I can guarantee you, on more than one occasion, I was not. But there are also occasions where I was above it, and there were times when I reached out to people because I knew they needed a hand, and the other part of this is you shouldn't expect anything in return either. Like, you should be nice to be nice. You should be kind to be kind. Not because you expect somebody to. You shouldn't lend an ear to somebody who needs to talk because you expect them to turn around and be there for you when you need to talk. It would be great if they were. In a perfect world, that happens, but don't get discouraged if. Don't get discouraged and don't pull away if you need to talk and the people who you spent time listening to aren't necessarily there to listen. Because it's not, you should have good friends, I guess, is the other part of that. Like, your friends should want to be there to help you and to listen to you. But don't think that you're banking friendship. That's not how friendship works. And don't think that you're banking karma. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. It's ultimately the end all be all of that. Maybe that's idealistic. I don't know. I'm still young. I'm still learning. You scare the shit out of me, and you're not even born yet. Like, I'm terrified. I'm excited, but I'm terrified. And maybe that's idealistic. I'm sure that there's definitely some people who are watching this, family, friends, whoever, who think that I am being idealistic or unrealistic or have unrealistic expectations of you. But where I am now in my life and with the knowledge that I have, that's my expectation of you. The only other major expectation of you is that and this is going to be kind of a do as I say and not as I do, because I definitely didn't do this when I was younger. But if you want something, if you want to do something, do it to completion. Throw 110% at it. And if it gets difficult, which it will, don't give up. Trust me, I know from experience that when things get difficult, don't give up, don't run, don't hide, don't stop doing it because it's hard. Buckle down, push through, and I promise you it will pay off. Now, with that said, if you don't feel like you want it, if it's not something that you truly want, don't do it. But if it is something you want, don't give up because it gets hard. That's one of the biggest mistakes that I made. And I don't want you to make that same mistake. Make your own mistakes. Don't make my mistakes. Make your own mistakes. And learn from them. That's kind of the cliche, but But yeah. Hopefully you see this. If you don't, I don't know. And to everybody else watching, this is directed to you now. Tiny Panda, you can either shut the video off or you're watching, I don't know. A couple things. Like I said, we are having a boy. We are not giving out names yet. We have talked about names. I have taken to calling the baby a name that I really like. But Micah is still trying to think of other names. Not that this name is not one that she likes. We both have talked about it, but we're not saying. Which I've heard is good because people say if you give the name, then somebody will be like, "Oh, I had a boyfriend named Dave and he was a jackass," or "My school bully's name was Billy," or whatever the hell. I don't know. And so we're not really giving anybody what the name is, so don't ask. There's two things that I'll ask of you before I end the video. So I'm trying to create like a scrapbook / binder type dealio thing for Tiny Panda, and it's called "The Places You'll Go and the People You'll Meet." And this is where you come in. If you would like to meet Tiny Panda, if that's like a big deal to you, and if you don't, I hate you. No, I'm not going to be offended. If you don't, I'm not going to be offended. Some people are really into kids. Some people are really into family. Some people are really into, celebrating with friends. If you're not one of those people, I'm not going to be offended. Don't worry about that. But if you do want to meet Tiny Panda, I would ask two things of you. So the people you'll meet. What I'd like is a picture of your family to put in the book. It'll go on its own page, and when you get to meet Tiny Panda, I'll have you sign the book. You can write a little note or whatever. It doesn't matter what age Tiny Panda is when they meet you, but that'll be something for the book. And that's there's a twofold for that. One is, like I said, you get to sign your page, your picture's in there. I'll probably flip through it every couple of weeks with Tiny Panda, and she's gonna be like, "Here's my friend Paige, and here's my friend William, and here's your great aunt Sue, and here's your great aunt Leanne, and here's your Nicole, and my brother," and so on and so forth. So that'll be the book for Tiny Panda, and the second part of this is a little bit more morbid, but I think you can handle it. There's no guarantee that something won't happen to you, to me, to Tiny Panda. There's no guarantee of that. And I want to have a picture that I can show Tiny Panda and tell them stories about you. About good times we've had, about how we met, whatever. I want to have that in the book, and I want to say, Tiny Panda, this is somebody who's very special to me, and they're no longer here, but they were awesome. And I met them when I was working at Best Buy, or I met them whatever. I want that in the book. I want him to know who you were. So that's the morbid part. The second part of the book is the places you'll go. And for this, what I'd like is for you to pick one place, a single place, that you would recommend Tiny Panda go. Whether it's, as a kid, as an adult, as a teenager, as a college student, whatever. A place you would recommend. And that'll go on the same page as your family picture. So there's two parts to that. If you don't want to be, if you don't really care about the people you'll meet, but you still want to participate in the places you'll go, that's fine. I will probably still put your name on the page just so that I can be like, Paige recommended you go here. Paige is my friend. She's kind of my world traveler friend. I live vicariously through her travel pictures, and they're phenomenal. And so I could be like, Paige recommends you go here, and she traveled all over the world, and this is the place she picked. Now, Paige, this is directed at you. You get to pick one place. That's it. You can't pick more than one, because I'm not doing more than one page for you. Page. Page gets one page. I know, you hate me, but you get one page, and the places you'll go. Pick one. And so, yeah, that's my idea. I'm going to stick to it because I have a hard time of following through, and I'm going to follow through on this one. So, places you'll go, people you'll meet. Like I said, if you want to participate in just the places you'll go, that's fine. I'm still going to put your name in the page. If you want to meet Tiny Panda, we'll do a picture of your family and a picture of, and then the place you want to go. Preferably, I'd like you to include a picture of the place you're recommending that you've taken, not just like Google search, and I can find a picture of the Virgin Islands that looks really pretty too, but a picture that you've taken, whether it was like your favorite spot when you were there, or like if you just want to include one picture and it's like your family at the place, that's fine too, although I'd prefer it be two because then it's easier to kind of mock up the page. But at any rate, that's what I ask. That's what I want. You have until September, say October. I'll give you October, because I'm setting deadlines because I'm the teacher. I'll probably make more videos and then remind people about it in those videos. You can either email them to me or post them as a comment to this Facebook post. However you want to do it, doesn't really matter to me. If you need my email address, let me know and I'll get it to you. But yeah, I would like to end the video the way I always end the video. Do one thing. Step outside your comfort zone and do one thing outside your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to be a giant leap. It can be a baby step. It can be a pinky toe. I don't give a shit. Do one thing that steps outside your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be every day because that can be exhausting. Whenever you watch one of my videos, pick that day. Do one thing outside your comfort zone. And if you'd like, tell me about it. I would love to discuss it. I would love to hear what it was that you did, why it was outside your comfort zone, what you normally do. I would love to discuss it with you. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Watch my next video as well. That one's going to be specifically about my nephew and his big change that he is getting ready to do, which freaks me out also, almost as much as being a dad, if you can believe it. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, have a great day. Yeah, step outside your comfort zone. Ha! That's my last name. Don't wear it out.